Hi, Jose. Thanks for speaking to us. I know we're speaking to you in a one-on-one afterwards, so I won't keep you too long because I know the other guys will have questions too. But first of all, any team news? You've been working with pretty much a full squad. Has that been a bit of a luxury for you?
Yeah, full squad. Just the Jeff Tanganga and Foyt situations that we know that will take probably until the end of the season. A part of them, everybody fit, everybody training, everybody ready.
From your point of view then, because in your time at Spurs, you've had lots of injury problems. So you've now got more considerations, more dilemmas, more decisions to make when you're picking your teams.
I wouldn't say dilemmas. I would say happiness. Because now I can choose, I can make decisions. I have very good options for my choices to start, to the bench. So that's privilege. That's never a problem. A problem is to play for a long time without any options. I think what happened to us from the beginning of the season, even in Mauricio's time, what happened to the team, starting losing Hugo, and then step by step, what happened to us is not normal. So now is, in relation to that, is good times.
You've got a large gap since your last match. Is that beneficial to you going into this one?
I don't think so. Especially after a victory, you want to play. I always say that after victories, you don't need time to rest. You don't need recovery time. What you need is to play. And of course, in this special situation of months without matches, you start playing. You play 2 matches. You are getting some intensity, and then to stop for more than a week again, of course, is not good. And especially is not good because now we play 4 matches in a very small period of time. But that's what it is, and we have just to think about the match tomorrow and nothing else.
Since the restart, Manchester United have gone well, Wolves have gone well, Chelsea have gone well. How realistic are your hopes of making those Champions League places with the games running out quite quickly?
Yeah, they are doing well, and a part of our game against Manchester United, we have nothing to do with that. We didn't play against Chelsea, we didn't play against Wolves, and we are not in control of their matches. So, to be honest, there's nothing we can do in relation to that. The only match that we could do better than what we did was the match against Manchester United, but that big penalty stopped us to get the 3 points. Apart of that, there is nothing we can do. When I told that I would love the new season to start and to make a difference between the new season and these periods after the COVID situation, was exactly because next season we start with the same points as everyone else. We start with 0 points like everybody else. And in this case, we knew, and I always told that the only thing that we can do is to play our matches, but we cannot play others' matches. So we don't play against Wolves, we don't play against Chelsea, we play against Sheffield, we play against Arsenal. We did play against United, but we have just to focus on our games. We know that the situation will be, of course, very difficult, exactly because we don't depend just on our improvement. We depend also on others. So if others are getting results, of course, good for them, and of course doesn't help us. But there is one thing that is for sure, is that what we do now is a contribution for next season. Is an evolution, is to get principles of play, is to to be organized in a certain way where we couldn't work that without the players. In this moment, we have the players, so doesn't matter what others do, doesn't matter the way the season is going to end. Of course, it matters, but the work we do now, independent of the results, independent of the table in the end of the season, is a very important base work for the beginning of next season.
Just finally from me, Jose, for now, can I ask you about Eric Dyer going into the final year of his current contract? Can you tell us where the club are in terms of talks with him, and if that's something you want to see concluded and sorted soon?
My boss, Mr. Levy, tells me that he wants Eric to sign a new contract. And Eric tells me that he's more than happy here. He's more than happy with his situation, especially now where he feels that we have a certain idea for him and for the team. And he tells me that he wants also very much to stay. So I hope that they can find an agreement, because of course I'm trying to take the team in a certain direction, and when I try to develop a player as a player, and when I try to develop a player in the team, is because I'm waiting for the player to stay with us.
Thank you for now. Thanks, Jose.
Thank you.
Okay, Roger, if you could mute yourself, please. We'll go to Pete Stevens next.
Afternoon, Jose.
Hello.
Jose, what do you make of Sheffield United? They seem to have lost momentum since the restart compared to how they were going before the shutdown.
I think they are doing fantastic. I think Wilder is doing an amazing job. I don't think many people would expect them to be doing what they are doing. You can clearly still say that they are still probably dreaming with a Champions League spot, if the fifth gives that possibility. They are fighting for Europa League spots, and that's amazing for a team that comes from the Championship. If they had a couple of negative results after the lockdown, the results don't tell me much, because the defeat against Newcastle, playing with 10 men for such a long time, is not a dramatic result. To lose at Old Trafford is not a dramatic result, and to be so unlucky to lose against Arsenal in the last minute is not also a dramatic result. So the results are not something that is going to change my idea of they are a very good team. They are the result of a fantastic work that Wilder is doing there. Looking at their match against us in our stadium, they were so good. They were so strong. So my boys, they felt it, and they know that they are a very difficult opponent for tomorrow.
How much of a bonus has it been to have that extra day this week to prepare the team? Because some of the sides involved in the FA Cup at the weekend are now coming up to their third match. And you've had a really spaced out set of fixtures. Have you been able to prepare the team differently or prepare them better?
It's not good for us. It's too long. If you could ask me the perfect time in between matches, I would always say 3 days. 2 days, no, but more than 3 days, especially in this moment where you are still chasing your best form, your best intensity. I think the 3 days gap is the perfect situation. So I'm not happy to be waiting for this match for so long.
And with so many teams scrambling for the Champions League spots, would a place in the Europa League be a disappointment?
No, if you tell me I start the season with 0 points like everybody else, and in the end of the season I am not in a Champions League spot, I would say disappointing. Um, if I see and I put myself in my day one and where the team was in my day one, and with everything that happens after that, I would say I will be not disappointed because the situation was incredible. But we are going to fight until we can, until mathematically we can. And as I was saying before, one objective are the points and the table, but we cannot forget also the objective of working for the future, working for next season. And this is not a waste of time for us. Doesn't matter how we end the season, because to work with the players, to know the players, to make decisions, to improve the team step by step in certain areas and levels, I think is also very, very important for us. So we just want to play and see where we are in the end of the season. And when the season finish, we know that a couple of weeks later, we are starting the preseason for the next season. And then, yes, and then is the moment to say, everybody has the same points and let's go for a fight.
Thank you.
Okay, we will go to the Moose next. Just trying to find you here. Ian Abrahams, here we go. Are you with us, Ian?
Hi, Jose.
Hey, mate, you good?
How are you? Yeah, good, thank you. Um, just off the back of that, then, I mean, this is the first time we've seen you since Liverpool won the title. You know, of course, how to win the title in this country. What have they done differently this year, and how are Spurs going to be able to catch them up next season?
Well, I think, first of all, congratulations is obvious to everyone connected with Liverpool Football Club, not just the coaches, the players, but everybody at the club and every fan around the world. Many congratulations. It's time for them to enjoy after so long. So really, really, honestly, many congratulations. And of course, the numbers don't let you lie. Of course, they deserve. For a long time, since I was always trying to be a pundit, that I told already in November, I think, that they were going to be champions. I think what they did is what you have to do, which is when you trust a manager, you trust. And doesn't matter how you do in your first season, doesn't matter how you do in your second season, you keep working because you believe in him. So you keep working together. So if the results in the first season are not good, you improve. If the results in the second season are not good, you keep improving. And you go to the third season and you go to the fourth. And of course, when the manager is good and when the structure behind is good and when they manage to do a collective work like they did, the results arrive. So I think is a great example. Is a great example for people that thinks that in football everything is done in 1 week, in 1 month, or in 1 year. So I double my compliments to them exactly because of the profile and the way they accepted that it was a project. Well done.
Harry Kane scored last week his 200th goal for Spurs. You've had some amazing strikers. You rattled some of them off last week: Drogba, Zlatan, Ronaldo. Where right now would you put Harry Kane in terms of how good he is in terms of world football?
You are right. I was lucky to have some of the best strikers in in the last couple of decades, and I'm lucky to have another one. He's that level. He's one of the best strikers in the world, and period. There is nothing more to add to it. There is nothing I can add that you already don't know. Fantastic player, great professional, and really, really happy to have once more one of the best strikers in the world.
I finally want to ask you about the drinks break, because a lot of people
Yeah.
are saying, hey, I want to ask you about the drinks break in the first half, second half of games.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying, like, what's the point? I mean, you know, it's not been that hot for every game that they need a drinks break. I wondered if it's a good opportunity for coaches like managers like yourself to get over some tactical messages, and whether you think going forward we should be keeping the drinks break.
Let's call it a tactical break. Let's call it a tactical break. And if anyone says that is just a drinks break, we all know that is not true. It's a tactical break. Is it good? I think has good things. I think has negative things. Of course, breaks the dynamic of the game. Instead of playing 2 periods, in the end you play 4 periods. That period is a period where you can break the intensity of the game. You can help one team that is in a negative moment of the game, and you can kill the dynamic of a team that is in a high. That's no doubt. By the communication point of view, of course, it helps, because you can communicate with the players like they do in some other sports, basketball, for example, and of course it helps you. But I also think that in this moment with the empty stadium, the communication is so easy. You speak from the bench, and the guy in the opposite corner in the other side listens perfectly what you say. So I think communication is not a issue. Match night, 8 p.m. Raining, do you need the water break? I don't think so, but I can imagine that in the remaining fixtures going into mid-July, playing probably sometimes 6 o'clock. I don't know if the last match of the season will be 3 p.m. Of course, when it gets tough, it gets tough and can help.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Cheers, Ian. If you could mute yourself. I'm going to go to Paul at PLP next, then Ali, then Jonathan. So we'll start with Paul now.
Hi, Jose.
Hey.
As far as Harry Kane, pretty much the last thing Spurs fans saw of him was him, even while he's working his way back to his best after his injury, racing through in the 82nd minute, and then that composed finish against West Ham. What has that goal done for him, and the 9 days since that game? Has he managed to shift up yet another level of sharpness?
Look, in the game before the goal, I think was minute 60 or something like that, we had a defensive corner that Dele Alli cleaned with a header in the box, and Harry Kane was in the box on a defensive corner, and I think 10-11 seconds later he was in front of Fabianski with a left foot shot that was almost a goal in the far post. Minute 60, after 6 months, he made a 100 meters sprint, and he did that for two matches. The agility is coming, the sharpness is coming, the positioning is coming, the interaction with the other players is coming. So for me, he did very, very well for the team. He did very, very well for us in these two matches. You expect Harry to score more than 1 goal in 2 matches. That's his fault to create this expectation to you. So when the guy doesn't score many goals, you think there is a crisis, but there is no crisis. There is an improvement.
And how about the improvement at the other end of the pitch? Only conceding a penalty in 2 games. How pleased are you with the way the team's been defending since the restart?
I'm happy. I'm very happy. And of course, the defensive organization is not about the keeper and the back 3 or the back 4. Is about the team. And again, even speaking about the defensive organization of the team, I want to speak about my attacking players, the way they close spaces, the way they respect organization, the way they are learning to defend zonally. So we are improving. I hope that we are not saying this and in the next 2-3 matches we concede a lot of goals. So hopefully the stats and the numbers helping us. But our feeling is that we are improving, we are more stable, and the team is getting better. That's why I'm saying, independent of results, independent of table, I think when we start next preseason, I think we will be a better team than we are today.
And while it is a team effort to defend, how natural and how well is that partnership in the middle of the defence developing between Eric and Davinson?
I'm happy with them, but I believe that they are part of the structure and they are part of the organization. So I think if it's not them and is Vertonghen or is Alderweireld, and the thing would be the same. Good players, good structure, good understanding, less doubts, better work by the zonal defending by the midfielders is very, very important for the team. So I think, of course, credit to Eric, to Davinson. But I truly believe that if it was Toby or Vertonghen, the situation would be the same.
Fair enough. Thank you very much. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Cheers, Paul. If you mute yourself now, we're going to go to Ali Gold.
Hey there, Jose.
Hey.
Hey there. Just want to ask you quickly. Daniel Levy, way back before lockdown, said that if Spurs didn't get into the Champions League, it would have a big impact on any transfer funds for the next transfer window. Obviously, we've had a lot happen since then, financial issues with the lockdown and everything. I just wondered, is that any concern to you that if you don't make the Champions League, it's going to impact on what you can then bring in terms of new players?
No, that's normal. That a team that qualifies or doesn't qualify for Champions League makes a difference in terms of the economical situation. That's easy to understand and easy to accept. The 2 good things are that Mr. Levy wants what I want, wants what the fans want, which is to win football matches and to try to win trophies. So that's one good thing. And the second good thing is that we don't need much. We don't need many players. We don't need huge investment. That's not our profile as a club, with or without COVID, with or without Champions League. So I think we will manage. Doesn't matter what happened in terms of the table, we will manage to improve our squad, which is what we want.
And just a very quick one. Presumably, with the amount of fixtures you've got coming up, you're going to have to rotate in certain areas. Are you going to have to be quite creative at right back? Because obviously you only have Serge Aurier.
Yeah. We don't have Jeffet and Foyt, which is a boy that played in Argentina a few times, and I believe with Mauricio we did also a couple of times. The right back position is not also available, so I would say yes, is the position where we are a little bit more in trouble. In training, we did sometimes skip, we did sometimes Jetson. We know that we can also do Toby, because a few years ago he used to do that sometimes with Atletico Madrid, even Southampton. I think he did a couple of times. So in emergency situations, here we go. Even Moussa Sissoko did it already too. So, but yes, is the position where in this moment we don't have a second body.
Thanks, Jose.
Cheers, Ali. Going to finish with Jonathan now, PA.
Hi there, Jose. Just back on Eric Dyer, have you had any indication from the Football Association when they might make a decision on his charge?
I don't see you.
In the middle, second down.
Where? You are there, just in the center. Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, have you had any indication from the Football Association about when they might make a decision on Eric Dyer's charge?
I think they made a decision when Guendouzi grabbed the other guy by his neck. I think decision was made in that moment.
Okay, so you're expecting him not to receive any punishment?
What do you want me to expect?
Okay. And then tomorrow is your first away game since the restart. What are the logistics like? Will you be flying up to Sheffield tomorrow? Will you be staying overnight?
We stay overnight, but we stay here in the training ground in our lodge. I think is the best we can do. Is our place is totally safe. Is totally under control. No risks, and tomorrow we fly to Sheffield.
Thank you.